Okay, hi everyone. Welcome or welcome back to Yasmin Collects. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today we are doing another one of probably my favorite videos to do and film, honestly. It is Thrift with me. This edition I am calling the Everything is Too Expensive edition. I'm sure you already know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to share that was my flip phone. I am just going to share a couple thoughts before we actually get into the products. Quick information session. If you watch my videos, you'll probably have heard this spiel 1,000 times, but I just like to make it clear. I take pictures of the items that I find in thrift stores. I don't like to film in public. I just think it's kind of like rude and weird, and it's just not something that I feel super comfortable doing. So I take pictures on my TCL Flip. Sometimes the pictures are like meh quality, but it kind of, I think, plays into the whole like old school, thrifty, retro techie aesthetic. So I will be giving detailed voiceovers over the stuff that I found, and I found a lot of stuff this time. I also promised myself that I wasn't going to buy anything. I looked in the mirror and I said, listen, we are not going to touch anything that we see in here. And of course I did end up buying two little things, but there is one particular thing that I am having major FOMO about, and you will see it in this video. So if you don't want to hear the rest of my spiel, you are welcome to skip through on the timestamps and just go straight into the voiceover talking about some of the stuff that I found. But if you want to stick around and hear me yap a little bit. So I feel like thrift stores are so expensive. I've brought this up before, but really walking in today, I haven't been in a couple weeks because as some of you may know, I recently moved apartments. I'm in a studio now. I used to have a lot more space in my old place, and it was all very stressful and sudden. I had water damage and mold and all of this horrible, yucky stuff going on. And just so much of the items that I had worked to collect are either damaged or I had to toss them, throw them out. It was honestly a really traumatic experience. It's been hard, and I think it has definitely changed my perspective and my relationship with collecting and with retro tech, because I just don't have the situation that I think most people would want. You know, ideally I'd like to own a house and be able to have a room dedicated to all of my items and not have to worry about moving them every couple of months or years. But unfortunately, that is just not the reality that I live in. And I think I've had to really kind of sit down, rethink what I purchase, and ask myself, do you have the space for this? If you don't, is it worth making the space? And, I've just been having to ask myself some hard questions in that regard, and it's not been fun. I like to just buy whatever I see, but also the prices are so insane. And I know I'm like a figure on the internet, and I think maybe it's true with bigger YouTubers, but I think some people get it in their head that any person that makes content or is monetized is rolling in the dough, and I can promise you that's not happening over here. I'm also a drag artist, so that is literally one of the lowest paying and most expensive hobbies in the world. It is expensive to look good, which I'd ideally like to do. So it's just unfortunate when you go into a thrift store and you see stuff for $30, $40. I saw an old wedding dress there that was clearly quite worn and old, and it was priced at $50. Let's be for real here. This is free inventory that you're getting, and it's super frustrating and difficult. And obviously I'm still in a very privileged position. I have food, water, shelter. There are lots of people that go to thrift stores not for fun, but out of necessity. And I can only imagine how stressful and hard it's been for them too. It's kind of like another little joy in life that's just being ripped away from us, not to get too nihilistic with you all. But yeah, it's just been really crazy. I'm probably going to touch on the prices quite a bit in this video because some of it was just I don't know, it's just so ludicrous, and I'm not sure exactly why it is the way that it is, but I've been to a lot of thrift stores in this area, and the prices are pretty consistent across the board, whether it's a Goodwill or a smaller chain. The prices are just, they're up there and they're crazy. I will also say that FOMO is such a thing that I have struggled with. It's not just retro tech. When I used to buy a lot of makeup and do all that stuff, I struggled with FOMO as well. I think as an artist and as a creator, there's just this kind of driving force that has to be in the background of like, you gotta work, you gotta make content, you gotta like leverage what you can find. And especially like in the retro tech world, you know, we're working with stuff that's 20, 30 years old, maybe not in the most available supply. So it's really tough for me to have to tell myself, like, you know, you don't have space for that, or you don't need that. It's really, really hard. And it's gotten harder since I'm in the smaller space, but I'm also a lot happier in a smaller space, and I'm happier with my collection being downsized a little bit as well. So it's just kind of like this push-pull dynamic that's very, very difficult, and I'm just trying to like navigate that. So all of that aside, there is one item, like I said, I will note it in the video as well. I have to be back in that area tomorrow, and if it's still there, I might have to get it because it was new in the box, and I'm like kind of regretting it, but also it was pretty pricey for what I wanted to spend. I have a show coming up, so I already spent some money on some costumes, so it's like, okay, you know, it's that push-pull of like, yeah, you know, I'm monetized, I could probably like make it back in a video, but also I just don't like to view my content in that way either. Like, it's very tough for me to have to interact with like the business side of it because this is a hobby for me, but also in the current state of life that I'm in, the hobby and the support that I get from you guys on the channel is what like kind of fuels Yasmin Collects and also like provides me with the funds to like keep it going. So it's like a weird relationship. I don't know. I don't like getting all salesy on YouTube. There's too much of that already. We don't need that here. So yeah, that's my little bit of rant and thoughts today. Let me show you the two things that I got. My camera battery's dying, so let me be really fast. I got a Breakfast at Tiffany VHS. It was 99 cents, so of course I had to have it. I love vintage things. I also got this 1998 Princess Diana wedding Christmas ornament. I literally, like, Christmas ornaments are my bread and butter. Hallmark, I know a Hallmark hates to see me coming, so I got that as well. Those are my two items. I'm gonna go over everything I saw, and let me know in the comments what your favorite item was that I found. Do you feel FOMO as a retro techie person, whether you make content or if you're in the community? Do you feel like thrift stores are getting too expensive? I feel like everyone's answer is going to be yes, but tell me more in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, let's do this. I gotta charge my camera. Okay, let's get started with some of these finds. So first of all, I saw several record player console type things. I used to have one of these several years ago before I got into collecting, and it's not that I think they're the worst thing in the world, but I do think that, let's see, I think the price here, this one is, oh God, I can't see. The price here is $19.99. I mean, for a thrift store, I just feel like that's a little bit much. But this is one of those ones that looks to be old. It's like the kind that they make look older on purpose, but I see that compact disc slot down there, so this is probably a, I think I checked the bag, I think it was like a mid-2010s model. I did end up going to the thrift store the next day and this was gone, so I guess someone thought it was worth the $20. The next thing we have here, okay, I had to do this because this is what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure somehow that, and I mean, I guess people are paying for these items, are paying these prices, and I think going back to like the people that actually do need to thrift in order to afford things, and I mean, no one needs a bunch of ceramic nuns, obviously, but I don't think that people that have lower budgets, the ones purchasing these items, because these were $5.99 a piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 6, whatever the heck that is. I don't know. I didn't major in math, but I just thought these little nuns were kind of interesting, a little weird, and also pretty expensive. Next, we have this Lexi book. I've never seen this before, but this looks like one of those old school toys. This is a really, really accurate one. And it actually looks like these are pretty new. You can purchase these on Amazon. I'm just kind of doing a quick Google search as I'm looking through these pictures. It seems to be, it's $40, and it seems to be some sort of kid aimed type device. So I'm glad I didn't grab this. It looks kind of cool and like old school, but it seems to be a little bit more modern, so didn't need that. I also found this really cool looking RCA remote. I just thought the pink and purple color scheme motif was really something. I do like to find unique and cool looking remotes, and this one was definitely up there as one of the cooler ones that I found. We also have this QPX. This was a AM FM radio. I thought this one was pretty cool as well. Don't remember the price on this one, but I don't tend to go for these particular items. We also have a couple DVD players. These are usually pretty fairly priced. I think they're like $6, $7. I'm squinting at the screen right now, so if I'm a little bit off, I'm so sorry. But I think these are like $6, $7. I think that's a decent deal. It's not like the worst, you know? I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good deal for a DVD player. And I've said this before, DVD players are something I highly recommend buying now rather than later, because I believe they're probably going to get harder to find and more expensive. Speaking of expensive, now this one really sent me. I thought this one was ridiculous. So this was a donated Philips LCD TV. I believe it was from 2015. Had a little post-it note in the top corner there that basically says that it needs a universal remote. They were charging $50 for this TV, and like, you don't know where this TV's come from. The hours could be high, they could be low, who knows? It's kind of hard to track with LCD TVs, and I don't even know if the power cable, like this thrift store has a really bad habit of separating the power cables from the original devices. They also tend to separate the remotes unless you literally like tape up the remote onto whatever you've donated, which I've seen that with VCRs a couple times. They will separate them and sell them separately, which is really, honestly, I think stupid and irritating, and they have to know better, but they still don't. Once again, this is a bad day to decide I'm not going to buy anything. We have this WWE plug and play. Oh my God, look at it. It's so nostalgic. I'm sure someone else grabbed this. I didn't check when I went back today, but I'm sure someone else grabbed this and will enjoy it. This one was really cool. We also have this Chromebook that belonged to someone who worked at Bank of America. I wonder if I can't imagine that like actual Bank of America workers are using Chromebooks, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't generally associate Chromebooks with, I usually associate them with like being in high school, but I thought it was really interesting that they like didn't take the stickers off or anything, and it's just right there in the open. Passed up on that. I've never had any interest or care in Chromebooks whatsoever. I did think it was interesting that the processor is Intel inside. I don't know what that is. If that's some sort of like cheapy version of Intel. I'm not sure. Something else I found that was cool. It was only $2, and you know, the old me would have got it, but I had to pass it up because I already have a converter that works fine, and also, you know, I liked the box. The box is what I liked, but ever since I had to deal with all of that damage in my old apartment, I've just found that like boxes were the first thing that had to go. So I'm really trying to stop getting into the habit of keeping boxes. So if I see this, I just like don't pick it up because I'm sure there's someone else out there that'll want the box. But I thought this was really cool. You know, it's from 2009, and it was just, you know, it reminded me of one of those like old school software type of programs. It's just like a standard like capture card thing, and I think it probably has software in there as well, but it was pretty cool to see something like this. I have another plug and play for you here. This was called Super Joy. It looked to be real beat up. As you can see, it's got this giant, like, I don't know, like 72 prong thing that you inserted in, and I didn't see like any TV cables, so I'm not sure if this is just missing some of the parts, but I always like to see a plug and play out in the wild. We also have this Instamatic 4D camera. I think this was a film camera. I don't know too much about cameras, so you'll have to forgive me on that, but I did think it was cool. Speaking of cool, we also have this Emerson CD sound system type thingy. This one was, is that $20? It was either like $15 or $20, which I think is kind of a lot for this. Just mostly because like it doesn't have like the remote or anything. I actually did find the remote in another spot, like right next to it, being sold separately. but I did still think it was cool. I don't know if the power cable was attached to it. It didn't look too much. This was something I wanted so bad. This is a zip file. I actually don't know exactly what this is. I'm pretty sure that this is something either to like convert floppy disks, or it's like a floppy disk attachment for a computer that doesn't support them. I really wish I would have grabbed this. I'm having so much FOMO in this video. It's called, yeah, like Lounge Zip. I really wish I would have grabbed this, but I didn't. It was from 2001. We've got like that really cool zip logo on the back, so I'm sad about that. We also have this 2005 Walkman. This is not a Sony. I don't think so, at least. This is an Audio Vox, so one of those like, you know, cheapy off brands. It does have this cool green camo color scheme to it though. The actual like disc lid though was not closing at all. As you can see, it's open in the picture. I could not get it to close for the life of me, so definitely passed up on that one as well. We also had this little landline. I usually pick up every landline that I see, but I didn't end up grabbing this one because I already have a white one and it was kind of boring. Something that's not retro tech that I thought was cool. This looks to be like a late 60s, early 70s rain cowl vinyl style-y raincoaty thing. It had some cool pictures of someone styling it on the back. And then here's that Emerson remote that goes to that CD player that I saw. They were selling it separately for 99 cents, so it wasn't that much extra, but I wish they would have just kept it together. Heading over to the DVDs and the tapes, I really didn't think the selection was that good, but we did have the entire, I believe this is the entire season of Friends 1 through 10. I see this all the time. I personally am not like a big Friends fan, so it wasn't for me, but maybe someone out there. I always think these are tapes and that irritates me, but maybe someone out there will want it. We also have this Jillian Michaels Wii game. Raise your hand if you were personally victimized by the weird diet culture associated with the Wii. You know, those memes about the Wii calling you fat are very real, so I thought that was weird. We also have a Memorex DVD and CD sleeve. I just took a picture of this because I thought the box was cute. We also have some porcelain dolls. Again, not retro tech, but I thought these were really cool. I remember having these growing up. Also, this RCA sound system, it said it was a 3-piece, but only one of the speakers was present. It had a CD player that I think was a disc changer, a AM FM radio, and 2 cassette decks included as well. This was $20. I thought that was okay. These tend to be in like not good condition though, in my experience. So this one seemed all right. I just think 20 bucks is like a lot for that. There's that Princess Diana ornament that I ended up purchasing. I could not let that one go. It's from 1998, which, fun fact, is the year that I was born. We also have this James Dean one. I am not a big James Dean fan, so I didn't get this one. And then we also have another porcelain doll. This one really caught my eye because it's still sealed in the box and came with candy. So there's some ancient nutrition facts. Couldn't find the year that it was created, but I still thought that was really wild. And then over in the special casing, we're getting close to the 2 products that I did end up getting these. I filmed the intro. So this was a 2-day span video. I filmed the intro yesterday and then I went back today. I couldn't believe they were still there. We'll get there. But we have this Barbie, what is this? Barbie, no, Bazaar. I don't know what that says. Barbie Bazaar. I'm not sure what that is, but it was just like a bunch of late 90s, early 2000s Barbie magazines. They were really pretty. If I wasn't avoiding paper products, I probably would have grabbed one of these, but I left them for someone else. Okay. Here we go. This is the first of 2 things that I went back and purchased today. So this is a Sony CFD S200 CD radio cassette recorder. It's new in the box, at least I think so. I haven't opened the box fully yet. I'm gonna do it in a separate video. $20 for this. At the time I was looking at it and I was like, $20 is so expensive, but like, you know, I came to my senses the next day and I was like, all right, yes, thrift store prices are kind of wild and I think I just have to, you know, we have to adapt. There's no other choice. But 20 bucks for something new in the box, I was like, a reseller is gonna get this and resell it and it's gonna be stupid. So I got it. And it's a Sony. It's my first new in-box Sony vintage product. So that's from 2001. Then we also had this DVD recorder. This is, what brand is this? I can't see that far away. It looks like some sort of just like generic like Amazon-y brand. There was also a portable DVD player. I kind of want one of these, but also like don't need one. And then we saw this one, the Kobe micro home stereo system, the CX-CD375. If you look at my community tab, you know that I bought this. I did. I couldn't help myself. This was $20 as well. I left this and I like literally spent the entire evening yesterday regretting it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Like, I know I didn't want to spend $20 for each of them, but like, for the love of God, these would be amazing videos, and I just couldn't stop thinking about them. So clearly FOMO definitely got to me, and I purchased these. So let me know which one you're most excited about when it comes to that. There was also this old school looking radio. Again, I think this is one of those things that's meant to look old, because when I was in the checkout, they were playing like some early 2000s bangers from the radio here. So I think this is probably another like mid 2010s type of thing. Then I also thought this aquarium from 2017 was cool. It was kind of like Frutiger Aero coated, I guess. That is all I have for this thrift with me today. This was one of the most fruitful ones, shockingly. Of course, like I said, the day that I decided I'm not buying anything, that unfortunately didn't happen. But I think, you know, for science, we had to get those two new in-box products. If you like this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, Yasmin Collects. We do all sorts of retro techie things on this channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!